I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Well, here we are once again, and I believe it's my turn to quiz you this week.
It is. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, bit of Two Truths, One Lie, as you just reminded me was the name. And I got three good ones tonight. I'm really pleased with these.
Okay. So
now, they're all on a theme. They're all on the theme of names. Now, this isn't something I think we should start because it's too restricting. It just happens to have worked out this week that they're all on the subject of names. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So,
go on,
here we go. Are you ready with a form of note-taking?
I am. I've got my notepad open on screen. I will prepare to type your statements.
Very good. Okay. Number one. Ford were the first car maker to use the name Allegro. In 1963, they unveiled a coupe concept, which would be instrumental in the development of the Mustang.
Right. Allegro. Okay, what year was that? I'll just get the script.
1963. They unveiled the Ford Allegro.
1963. Righto, I've got that written down.
Okay. Number two. The Rover SD1 was named after the two lead designers, Spen King, who did the engineering, and David Buck, who did the design. Spen, David, SD.
And David. So, all right.
Okay. Number three. Cadillac was originally the Henry Ford Company, but the business had to be renamed when Ford left, taking the rights to his name with him.
That's interesting. So Cadillac was originally the Henry Ford Company.
Correct.
Blimey. Okay.
It had to be renamed when he left and took the rights to the Ford name with him.
Right. Bloody hell.
Good ones, aren't they?
Okay. So, there's something in my head that says the Ford Allegro is a thing. I'm not entirely sure why. I might have read it. I might even have to blame Mr. Porter on that one.
It's the sort of thing he might know if it's real or not. Yes.
Yeah, I think he might have banged that fact out somewhere. But I've got nothing else to base that on.
Okay.
Other than I think that's a thing.
You've just got a feeling that might have been a thing. Okay.
Yeah. The Rover SD1, named after the two chaps there. Okay. Run me past those names again. It was Spencer something.
Spen King, who did the engineering, and David Bock, who did the design. I'm not 100% sure the pronunciation of that, but I'm assuming it's Bock. B-A-C-H-E.
Okay. No, I don't know if they designed it. I don't know if you made that name up.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
However, I'm going to circle back to that because I've got a thing in my head on that one.
Okay, that's cool.
And Cadillac was originally the Henry Ford Company. Now, this certainly has some grounding in the truth, I would say.
Okay.
I think, anyway. Because I'm incredibly interesting. I think I read a book where this feels like something that was in it.
Okay.
Because it's not uncommon for, in the early days, car manufacturers to sort of split apart, or people split apart.
It still isn't.
Yeah.
It's just more difficult these days.
I mean, one of the ones we loved the most was Mr. DeLorean.
Oh well, fingers in many pies over the years. Yes,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
Chevrolet, Pontiac, yeah, indeed.
Fingers in powder as well. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh dear. Okay. So that's why I'm coming back to the. I'm going to come back to the Rover SD1.
The Rover. Okay.
So I still don't know about these names. That could well be the two designers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disputing that bit. What I am potentially disputing is the S and the D, because I think it was actually, possibly, not sure, but I think it could have been named after the department. Because that's, well, no, that's it, because that's what I think happened. I don't know where it came from, but I think I've got a feeling it's that. I don't know what the department was called.
Well, if that is the case, you don't have to know, do you? You just have to say if it's true or false. So you just have to decide.
Oh, yeah, but there's a lot riding on this. It's not just a case of winging it, because there is an element of winging it, because I'm not 100% on any of these. I've just got feelings.
No, you're just got vague inklings on all of them. You can't put your finger on any of them, can you? So it's difficult.
No, I can't. I'm sort of in the 90% bracket of confidence for the Ford and the Allegra name.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that's a Mr. Porter offering in some way. He's mentioned it somewhere. Podcast.
Well, he has
book,
put
Twitter.
He's put a lot of this sort of nonsense out there, hasn't he? So.
Okay, well, maybe let's get off the fence on that one. I will say that the Ford Allegro is true. They were the first manufacturer to use that name, and you quoted 63, something to do with the Mustang.
I said I said it was a coupe concept unveiled in 1963, and it was a concept they used to develop the Mustang. Is
fine,
what I said.
Right.
Yeah.
So true. These other two then. So not confident on either of these other two. But from the dillying and dallying that I was doing, it was basically I was leaning towards saying Cadillac was actually the Henry Ford Company originally, and Rover SD1 was named after a department rather than people. Or shit the bed. Do I want to confirm that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Right. Ford true, Rover false, Cadillac true.
Final answer?
Yeah, if I don't give me any more time to think about it, I'm going to go with those theories.
Okay. Then you are correct.
Oh,
You little git. Oh, okay. Let me put some meat on the bones then. So yeah, Ford did indeed unveil a concept of a two-seater coupe in 1963 called the Allegro, and it was a car that they then used to sort of garner interest in and then further engineer the car that eventually became the Mustang. I was tempted to ask the question, or not ask the question, but the statement that the Allegro was the Mustang's original name, but that's not quite true. They were different cars, and Allegro never went into production. It was only ever a concept.
Okay, hang on. Let's have a quick.
If you find some pictures of it, actually, it wasn't a bad looking thing. Quite liked it.
I'm allowed to search for it now.
Yes.
That's quite different to the Leyland offering.
Isn't it? In every way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit different. Fair play.
It's all right, isn't it? It's all right. I would encourage anybody to look it up. If you just Google Ford Allegro, you'll find pictures of it, and it's
it's interesting, isn't it?
It is. It's all right. Yeah. And you can sort of see where they went with it for the Mustang, the original 64 Mustang. You can see the sort of lineage of it a little bit.
Yeah, because people forget, like the original 64, it was quite an understated car, wasn't it? It wasn't.
Oh, it was. It was quite boxy.
Brash.
Yeah, no, not at all. It was sort of a traditional 3-box saloon kind of shape. Yeah, it wasn't anything wild by any means.
Okay.
So that is true. Jumping to the other true one, Cadillac was indeed originally the Henry Ford Company. It was his first company, founded in 1901. But in 1903, big falling out, he left, but retained the rights to his name. So they had to rename the original company. So Ford became Cadillac because Ford left to found Ford.
Yeah. If you can follow that, well done.
So yeah, Cadillac was originally the Henry Ford Company. So there you go. Now the Rover SD1. I really thought I might trip you up with this. The two lead designers on the project were indeed Spen King and David Bork. That is true, but that's not why it's called SD1. I really thought I'd get you with that one.
Dear.
It was indeed named after the department. It was SD was for the specialist division, and 1 was because it was the first car designed by their own in-house team.
There you go. The fact retention of utter bollocks.
Oh, total nonsense. I'm really impressed. But I thought, because I'd say if you knew who the designers were at that time, because Spen King worked on quite a few.
It's a familiar name.
Yeah, exactly. So when I read that I was Spen and David, I've got to use that.
Sold. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one. And it's the sort of nonsense that British Leyland would have got up to.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's by no means.
It's not implausible, is it?
No, exactly that. Oh dear. Oh right. Well.
Damn it. So, you weren't to be fooled.
We're doing all right at this, aren't we?
Not terrible.
We had a shaky start, but we're doing all right. This terrible. Is very good.
Yeah.
Blimey, but the bar is being set quite high in terms of.
We're really raising the nonsense level every week, aren't we?
Yeah. So that means
we're really getting into the weeds on some of these now.
that means I've got to come up with something really special, isn't it? Okay.
I was really pleased with those three. I really thought I might get you on the Rover SD1. I'm disappointed that you saw through that, although only just. You weren't sure. It was good enough to make you think about it.
No, it wasn't complete confidence there at all. Okay, I'll rustle something up. Oh God, pressure's on. So what's 3-2?
I've lost track. I think so. Yeah, I think you're one ahead now.
But in terms of games played, you could easily tie. It's not an issue, is it? It's
yeah, absolutely. We're neck and neck. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bloody hell. All right, pressure's on. It's
It is.
Okay. I will have a little research at the weekend, see if I can come up with some real grotty ones for you.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I think we've all learned a little bit there as well.
I would say so.
It's education. It's a service we provide this,
Yeah, and I think if we ever go to the world's most obscure pub quiz, we're going to be all right, aren't we? Yeah.
Oh, we'll absolutely nail it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably get thrown out.
But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I haven't done a pub quiz in a very long time.
No, I haven't. Years and years.
When you say years and years, I think the last time I did one, God blimey, I think I was probably 19.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to reveal that was quite a long time ago now.
It was an awfully long time, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Okay, we might need to address that.
There was, oh God, I remember it for all the wrong reasons, because it was quite a hushed event, and one of the questions in there was, it was something about a song lyric and what's next, and I'd had a couple of beers, and I was so captivated by the question that when they read out the first portion of the lyrics for you then to write your answer of what came next, I was at a beer level that made me, in quite a quiet pub, stand up and sing the next bit of the lyrics.
Oh, that's not what they were looking for.
No, it wasn't.
They just wanted you to read it, not perform it.
Yeah, they would prefer sort of answers on a postcard type situation, but no.
Yeah,
dickhead here stood up.
Dickhead there and to perform it.
Yeah. But yeah, well.
There was the story Rich Porter told ages ago on a Smith and Sniff a long time back, where he'd been in a pub quiz, and the question was, who is the largest car maker in the world? And he asked the follow-up question, or do you mean cars or vehicles in general, because the answer will be different. It didn't go down well.
No. Oh God. They did not know with whom they were dealing.
No, they didn't. I think in the end the quizmaster just gave the answer to everybody and abandoned the question, because he wouldn't let it go. He said, well, no, this is important. Do you mean cars or vehicles in general? Because it's two different companies. It's either GM or Toyota, but it depends what you mean.
Yeah, well, it's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'd be the same irritating little dickheads, wouldn't we?
I think we would be asked to leave ultimately. Yeah. For knowing too much, as it turns out, about all this kind of nonsense.
Mind you, you'd say about pervy quizzes, and I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it was a pub quiz, but when we went to the Late Break Show Christmas do,
oh yes,
there was
a quiz there, wasn't there? There was,
and that was fully car related, but it wasn't in a pub, so I'm not.
No, and we had all just eaten far too much Christmas lunch.
We did have a beer though.
Oh, we did. We had a beer on the go. Yeah.
That
was a fine event. It's a shame he's not doing those anymore.
Well,
but I do understand that he can't afford it.
No, he sort of alluded to that the other day, actually, didn't he?
I think it was last week's podcast. He said it loses so much money. I just can't afford to do them.
Catastrophically ruinous in finances and incredibly stressful as well.
Yes, just can't do it.
Well, I'm glad we got to go.
But it was good. Yeah, I'm glad we went to the one we did. It was excellent.
It was.
Yeah.
We digress. So
we did a bit.
We did. We're reminiscing about being teenagers. You remember that?
Oh, vaguely.
Yes. Oh, God. Last week you gave us some rather disheartening news, didn't you?
Oh, about my Jaguar. Yeah.
Where are we at?
Oh, well, it's still broken. But it's been up to the garage and they've had a poke about with it. They did a smoke test on it and they've figured out that it's riddled with leaks. Air leaks, fortunately, not anything more expensive. But there are leaks from the intercooler and related pipework. There are leaks from the airbox and related pipework, and there are leaks from the EGR valve.
Good.
Now, they're not sure which one of those is causing it to lose turbo boost and little Knight Rider reference there, and go into restricted performance. But they do, fortunately, they seem confident that the turbo itself is okay.
Okay, that's a good start.
Yeah. But there's obviously quite a lot of other stuff that needs attention. So what they're going to do, because they're not certain which of these leaks might be causing the issue, and one of them is actually not that bad, they're going to replace the intercooler and related pipework, because of course all these things come as a kit. You can't just buy individual bits. So they're going to replace the intercooler next week, and then we'll see how it goes. If it still then fails, then we'll be looking at airbox and related pipework. If we get as far as the EGR valve, that's a big job. So hopefully we don't get that far, because then we'll be into the question as to whether it's actually worth it. All told, we could be looking at about 1,500 quid without doing the EGR valve. That would be for the intercooler and the airbox assemblies.
Okay.
If we're getting into EGR valve, they'd have to quote separately, because that's a big job. If it gets to EGR valve, it may not be worth it, because it may cost more than the thing's worth. But I've authorised them to do the intercooler, which they're going to do next week, and then we'll see. The car is perfectly usable unless I give it a bootful, and then it goes into restricted performance. So, for knocking about locally, it's fine. And he said, you're not going to do any damage. It's only leaking air, not anything else.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's fine.
But it will be down on power when you need it. Which is exactly what's been happening. I mean, the 2 times it's done it, I've been going uphill, overtaking, foot hard down, and it's gone. Yeah. So it's when it really needs the boost that it just doesn't have it, because it's just leaking so much air. The pressure in the system is all wrong. So it's an uncommon fault on these 3-litre twin turbo engines. Oftentimes it's the turbo, but they don't seem to think it is the turbo. So I'm going to let them do the intercooler, and then we'll review the situation and see where we are if that doesn't fix it.
Okay, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so that's
yeah, you could do without that, couldn't you? Really,
it's a high mileage Jag.
Well, fingers crossed, it's the cheaper end of the scale. Granted, it's still not peanuts, but
no, the intercooler works over 600. But that's still a lot less than the car's worth. So okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's That's you tolerate that. Going, yep. Sometimes things break or need replacing.
Yep.
That's
if
a
we'll
fact.
do that. If we're well, as I say, if we then have to do the airbox stuff, I'm then up to about 1,500. If we're then looking at EGR valve, and he said that's days of work to do that, then yeah.
Well, tell them to hurry up. And it's not
just crack on.
Sake, yeah. It's not hard, is it?
China, get those orange rubber gloves on and crack on with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway, hopefully it's not that. And he did say that in fact, he showed me the smoke test because they videoed it. And the leak from the EGR valve is tiny. So he said, I'd be surprised if that was causing you a problem. He thinks it's more likely to be, the intercooler, which is why he suggested doing that first.
Okay. Well, will we know by this time next week when we record?
It's going in on Thursday, so whether they'll have completed the work within the day, I don't know. But obviously, maybe, hopefully, I can report back this time next week. Yeah. Excellent.
Okay, that'll be good.
But in the meantime, I have it back, and for local work, and if I don't give it a bootful, it's fine. I mean, it drives perfectly.
Okay. Well, what that's done is answered another question of mine. Because if you got it back, that means you won't have been out in another vehicle.
No, well, this has been much discussed. In fact, I've been viciously attacked this week on our Discord server.
I think at this point, everyone's been awfully tolerant.
I think people have had enough of my nonsense now.
Yeah, I think we've reached that point now. Yeah, I think that's where we are.
Drive the Mazda, buy an S-Type R. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. This is. I mean, people are livid. Come on,
sort your life out. Has been the theme, and I completely accept that.
Not a leg to stand on.
No, not really. No. It's fair dues, and those things will both probably have to happen sooner rather than later. However,
at this point, what would be really funny is you get kidnapped, bundled into the back of your own Jaguar, and driven to one of these scenarios. Going right, the only way you can get home is by buying the S-Type R and driving it, or getting into the Mazda that we've left here for you.
Be a tricky choice, that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just to make it occur.
Just to sort it out. Yeah, because I clearly need some help. Yeah.
So that's fine. Right. Okay. Well, we wish the Jag well, because although we want you to drive the other cars, we don't want you to be left with a utterly broken one. So hopefully
we don't want that one to be dead. No.
No. That's not an outcome we desire. No.
Well, you haven't driven it yet, so.
No, it's a very good point. I'd at least like to tick it off before it goes.
Well, indeed, yes, quite. So there's that. Can I attempt to segue?
Please do.
Yeah, and not the two-wheeled electric things, which are enormous fun. There was a Jaguar story earlier this week.
Was there?
There was. Yeah, well, and just as well you did.
No. SUV, is it?
No.
Oh,
No, calm yourself. It only appeared in one news outlet and later turned out to be total bobbins.
Okay.
It being the 1st of April this week, although the story, I believe, appeared on the 2nd of April, so it was slightly confusing. An outlet called Autodrive ran a story this week saying that Tata had sold Jaguar to Geely.
All right.
Now, this started to get a little bit of traction. I saw the article myself and thought, oh, well, actually, it's not the worst thing that could have happened. Geely, of course, being the owners of Lotus and Volvo and Polestar.
Yeah.
And I believe they also have a large share in Mercedes, and they have good electric tech. And I thought, yes, actually, I might be all right with that. That's not the worst news we could have had.
No,
unfortunately, others have done further research, which has extended to contacting both Tata and Jaguar Land Rover, and it is, total nonsense, unfortunately.
So, did we establish whether it was an April Fool's, or was it just a really bad bit of journalism?
It's been reported as being an April Fool's, but the article was originally behind a paywall, so it would have been a very limited April Fool for people who were paying for the content. So, slightly.
It's a bit much, isn't it?
Slightly shaky ground, I would suggest. But it did obviously leak out further than that fairly quickly, but has then been revealed to be nonsense. Tata, I believe, have had discussions with Geely in the past. In fact, as far back as 2019, about their involvement in Tata's automotive division, but there has been no sale of Jaguar to Geely. Apparently, maybe it's something that has been discussed. Maybe it's something that may happen in the future. I don't know, but both Tata and JLR have denied it at this point.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
But it wouldn't, as I say, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I don't think.
No. In terms of sort of proposing things, it's all right, isn't it?
If you had to choose somewhere for Jaguar to end up, that's not a bad place. So, yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But actually, not.
Apparently not. No, I got quite excited about that at one point earlier in the week, but yeah, it does turn out to be nonsense. So there we go.
Fair enough.
Non-news there. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but
it's an unfortunate non-event. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, I think we should probably tackle something, shouldn't we?
Probably.
We've sat on this for a couple of weeks, maybe more actually. I'm judging by your groan, I think you probably know where I'm going with it. And it's a bit of a Bond update.
Yeah, we didn't mention this at the time, did we? Because we were engaged in other things. But there has been there's been a development, hasn't there?
There has, and I think if we just go over the key points, I think it's probably easiest.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone will know by now, but
that's why it's like we don't have to delve, but we'll go for a few bits. So the one thing, like where we left it, the deal was done, and bye broccoli.
Yes.
So shortly after that, which is something we haven't touched on, but we did have a theory about, which does appear to be true, is Mr. Bezos essentially went, just throw money at the situation and make them go away.
That does appear to have been what's happened, and there has been some figures, quite big ones, knocking about. Yeah, they were. It would seem, well, paid to go away.
Yeah. That's what's happened there.
That's the gist of it, isn't it? Yes.
Which, okay, that's happened then.
Yeah, well, he can usually make whatever he wants happen with enough money.
So that's left us now where they are speeding up, should we say?
Yeah, the things might be happening. Yeah.
So we've got producers.
Yes. Yeah, that didn't go down terribly well. Well, one of them did, the other one didn't.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
He did, she didn't.
And which way round was it? Because some of them done. Oh God, let me see if I can get it right. Because she did Spider-Man, he did Harry Potter.
I think that's right. I can't quite remember now.
Those were the headline films, weren't they?
Yes, apparently. I'm trying to find their names. Amy Pascal and David Heyman.
There you go. Yeah. Those are the
ones.
Are
the Amazon based producers of the series. They have said they're going to be true to the Bond legacy.
Yeah,
we'll see about that.
Yeah. Right, we'll get the finger of judgment at the ready. Don't
worry. We will indeed. Yes.
Yeah, that's right, because they said they're committed to honouring the legacy, but bring a fresh thing or something like that, wasn't it? I can't remember exactly.
Yes, they are indeed behind Spider-Man and Harry Potter. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
She is Spider-Man and he is Harry Potter. Well, no, actually, you know what I mean.
You're not meant to tell people. Spider-Man's
giving away their secret identity.
Be anonymous. That's so. So we got them respecting it. Then there were sort of tentative sort of dates thrown around, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah, and as you say, things do seem to have accelerated.
Yeah, they basically said it'll. I think the second half of 27 is when we can expect it, roughly.
Yeah, well, they've said that Amazon MGM and Prime Video want to produce 15 movies, or be producing 15 movies a year by 2027, not 15 Bond movies, 15 movies in general, one of which would be a Bond film.
I like that. That's
yes.
Right, we've not had one for a while. Have 15.
15 a year. Yes. We're really going to move this on.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? And the speculation again begins about who's going to be the next one. And
yes.
So we've skimmed over everything there. We got the key points.
It's been covered widely online. I don't think we're going to come up with anything that is news to anybody.
Absolutely not.
So Amazon have some producers in place. We still don't have a star.
No, we got producers, tentative date. They'll sort an actor, I would say, relatively swiftly.
I would think so now.
And I think like you say, we're not telling anyone anything new, but I'm mostly curious what you think about it.
Well, the trouble is, I don't know any of these younger actors.
Well, maybe if I phrase it differently then, rather than worrying strictly about who's going to be next, how do you feel about the handling and where we are now in general?
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Part of me is disappointed that it's not in the hands of the Broccoli family anymore, because I think the fact that Bond was a family business with the same people behind it, and the children of people who were involved in it in the 60s and 70s are still involved in it now, and it's it was such a unique thing in the filmmaking world. I think it's a shame that we've lost that. However, since it has been sold to Amazon, and that the rights and wrongs of that can be and will be debated forever, there was clearly a difference in opinion on what the direction should be between the Broccolis and Amazon. And I think we're at the stage now where we just need to do what we got to do to move it forwards. And if that means Broccolis are out and Amazon have got their own people to put in, then let's see what they do with it. We might be pleasantly surprised.
We might.
It might be ruined forever. We don't know yet. I'm hoping not.
No, hopefully not, because that would be.
At the end of the day, Amazon want to make money from it, and they're not going to make money from it if they cock it up. And they've got a worldwide, very large army of hardcore fans, of which you and I are a member of that group. And if that group is not satisfied, then it's knackered, isn't it? And Amazon have done their investment, basically. So they have said they're going to keep it in the cinema, and it will, the next thing will be a cinema release. It will be a Bond film. I just hope whoever they bring on to write it, which is kind of more important than the producer, really, is someone who respects the law of it all. And to be honest, is prepared to go back to Fleming, because, as Cubby always said, if you don't know what to do, go back to the books. It's all there. Everything you need is in the books. This wonderful world of James Bond, it's all in the books. Go back to Fleming and you'll be okay.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's, well, you can't help but agree with him there, can you?
So, and the other phrase, which I don't think is it may have been attributed to Cubby, I'm not sure. But the phrase, don't let temporary people make permanent decisions. Now that's good advice for business generally, but
yeah.
It couldn't be more true than what's happening now. And I think it will depend a lot on what these producers do next, who they hire as writers, who they cast, and not just in the key role, but in all the recurring roles, and who they get to direct. That will be the real shaping of it. So I think there's still a lot of questions to answer, and we are where we are. I probably wouldn't have chosen for it to go to Amazon. I wouldn't have chosen for the Broccolis to bow out, but we are where we are. And as you commented rightly recently, Amazon were always going to get their way because they've got more money than anybody else.
Oh yeah. That's always going to happen.
Yeah. Barbara was never going to win her arguments against them, because they couldn't. I mean, at the end of the day, even if it had gone bad and she'd gone to court with it, they would have just dragged it out until she ran out of money.
Yeah. They were going to win regardless.
Yes. So there's not a lot of point in starting the fight, really.
No.
I mean, you should always stand up for what you believe is right, but in this case, she was never going to get anywhere with it. She wasn't in a position to produce a movie on her own. No one else was going to buy it away from Amazon. So it was kind of a lost cause, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it depends a lot on what comes next.
To be honest, without sounding too smug, we did call it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
That's true. We did.
We
are where we are. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the direction it's gone in thus far, but that doesn't mean we can't still get a great movie.
No, we could be all right.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need to try and remain positive.
Yes. It would be nice if the names Albert R. Broccoli and Ian Fleming could still appear in the titles.
Yeah, it would be.
But we'll see. A little bit respectful for where this has come from. Bezos, I think, is not that he'd be directly involved, I don't think, but he has said that he is a massive James Bond fan. But anybody who owns it is probably going to say that, so it's difficult to judge. But they really do need to come up with something that the fans, I think, almost unlike anything else, the fan base for this is so massive and so passionate.
Yeah,
and
can't
global.
Cock it up. Yeah.
No, they can't.
The pressure is most definitely on,
Yes.
And in terms of recent movie cock-ups, they most definitely do not need to do a Snow White.
That's gone right off the rails.
That's an exercise in how not to do it. That's what that started is going, right, there you go. They've shown you, so you don't have to make that mistake.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Stick with what it is. Go back to the books. Go back to the core. Go back to where it started.
Yeah, we can do all of that. Or I mean, as the internet seems to want, particularly because he's very prominent at the moment because of a recent TV show being released. Yes. Just get Brosnan back.
Well, I have seen him asked about this a couple of times now. I think Jonathan Ross asked him about it, and someone else did. And he said, "Well, they know where I am. It maybe. I got a sneaky suspicion he would do it.
Of course he would.
And he still could, the git.
I know. Utter bastard.
Absolutely. He still could.
Yeah, distinguished older Bond. I mean, we've said this before. I mean, the man is 71 years of age now. And then, you look at him and go, oh, my God, I am considerably younger than him. And I can't say that about many people. And I go, I look atrocious.
Yes. I know, and look at him.
Yeah.
He could still do it. He really could. It's despicable.
It is, and they keep planting those seeds. There was that photograph of him outside some fancy hotel leaning up against a new 7 Series. Then he visited Aston Martin and the original Vanquish.
The Vanquish.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. I mean, he's doing that to tease, isn't he?
He's having a whale of a time. He
knows what he's doing, and he's one of the few, I think, who he's kind of the only who had kind of unfinished business with, but he hadn't finished doing what he wanted to do with it.
No, that was,
and he's so like Roger Moore. He so enjoyed being Bond. And I think he felt it was snatched away from him through no fault of his own. And he wanted to do more and would have done more. So,
yes. Yeah. We would have all given a lot to get a fifth Brosnan film. And, well, at this point, we can't rule it out.
No, well, who knows? I mean, I've seen Mr. Dalton's name mentioned a few times too, but I don't think he would do it. He did give quite a lengthy interview on the subject, I believe, to Variety a few weeks ago, in which he discussed. I thought you would have. In which he discussed the whole thing, but I don't think he would come back to it now. But Brosser, well. I mean, that would be glorious. My gut feeling is they won't do that.
No.
I think they'll go backwards rather than forwards with the character, if anything. I did read one horrific thing saying they were going to do a CGI Sean Connery, but I think that was a joke.
I hope so.
Yes.
Because you sent me a while back some horrific AI generated thing.
Oh, that was a student project that someone had done. Yeah, that was with all of them in it.
That was genuinely terrifying.
That was actually I'd go so far as to say it was slightly disturbing.
Yeah, it was taking James Bond into the horror genre, really, wasn't it? It
was really weird.
Yeah,
really weird. It wasn't even particularly good CGI.
No. That's an illustration of why AI isn't there yet.
I think very much so. I forget what it was called. But if you
I've tried
search
to block
online,
it out.
I'm sure you'll find it. But it was very, very strange. Well, I mean, we'll see. I would love to have a fifth Brosnan Bond. I think that would be amazing. Looking at Bond in his later years, maybe a little bit jaded, a little bit washed up, and I think they could do a lot with that. They could make a really strong story.
They could. There some villain from way back coming with a cross to bear or something like that. It writes itself.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah. And it would be such an easy transition because it's the relationship is already there.
Oh, blimey. Okay, let's not get too carried away, because I know that we want it. Quite a lot of people would want it, but I don't.
It would be a huge success, I'll tell you that. It would. That would put bums in seats. It really would.
That would recoup a bit of their losses, because at the minute, Amazon are very much out of pocket on Bond, I would say.
I would say so, yeah. Well, I mean, it's done nothing, has it, other than annoy everyone so far.
We've had some annoyance and a really odd sort of game show type thing.
Well, let's not have any more of that.
No. I think even Amazon realised that. Although they kind of inherited that. I don't think that was them.
No, that wasn't them. No, that was a deal done and kicked off before they bought it. Yes, that is true. Okay. That was outlined in one of the articles I read. Actually, it made the point that that was not an Amazon project. It was just part of the deal.
Yep. Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right then. All right. Well, let's cross our fingers and let's hope it's a fifth Brosnan film, but it seems unlikely. And well, we'll revisit again. I get a feeling we'll probably park the Bond news until we get an actor.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much more news now until we've got an actor. I mean, they might appoint a director, I suppose, who might be involved in the casting process.
Yeah, maybe. It's just I think everyone's sort of fed up with sort of second level news. They want the actor now.
We need the actor now. Just get on with it. Just announce that. It will rejuvenate the community. Announce an actor who is going to be in a proper cinema release film. And let's get on. Yeah. That's fine. All right. Well, we'll report back when that happens then. Because none of us want any of the other news. All right. Well, you never know. We might even be reporting on it next week, although I doubt it. I doubt it too. It's going to take them a bit longer than that.
Okay. All right. Well, bollocks to it. Back to cars next week then.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay. We'll do that.
Rum and all that.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.